The rain continues at RFK Stadium in Washington, where the Browns leave the Redskins 3-0 at the halftime intermission. And, Joe, an interesting first half. Take a look at those stats and see what you can deduce.
Well, what I deduce is that Cleveland's pass defense is well, they've deserved their #1 ranking, and their entire defense has. But you have to look at the Redskins' offensive line. Once again, they've been hurt. They can't develop any consistent line play. Right now, it's all Cleveland, but, hey, the score's only 3-0.
Browns dominating time of possession, but not getting any meaningful scores. The field goal with 27 seconds left after missing a field goal in the first quarter, and sometimes that can haunt you to dominate a game and not come away with any points.
Yes, it can, but I think Washington needs to get some better play out of Rypien. He's been smart now. He's gone to the right receiver each time, but he's misfired a couple times, and I would still like to see Washington open it up more. Go for the deeper balls to Sanders, to Monk, to Clark. Try and get those one-on-one big plays. These receivers are capable of making great catches.
Would you second-guess the move then to Rypien and not using Doug Williams today?
No, I would never second-guess Coach Gibbs. I mean, he's the champion. I think the weather this half, though, Tom, may have an effect. And if it favors anyone, it will favor the passing attack. You see, the defensive line can't get off the blocks to rush the passer as quickly. The defenders have to react to the pass route being run by the receivers, so they can slip. You know, they have to stop and then jump on the receiver, so they're more apt to slip on coverage. So if anything, I think this weather is going to help the offense.
One thing we talked about to start the game was that Kevin Mack would return to help the running game of the Browns, and that certainly has been the case. They have been much more successful running the ball than the Redskins, and that's helped Bernie Kosar too.
Yeah, each offense wants to have a balanced attack. I mean, a running game is not good if you're not going to score any points. You have to put some points with the running game. But the running game of Cleveland has afforded Kosar some better time. He's able to mix the play-action stuff in because Washington has to respect the running game. So the play-action passes are good. They haven't been as good for Washington because right now Cleveland's not respecting Washington's running attack.
Well, this is fun, isn't it? In the rain at RFK Stadium, the Browns and the Redskins just makes me think of old-time football. The defense is dominating. This is the way it's supposed to be, isn't it?
Yes, this is the way it's supposed to be. And I remember my days, we never had a pretty green field like that to play on. We had that old Shea Stadium baseball infield. This field's holding up rather well right now.
Mark Rypien has hit on 5 of 10 for 56 yards and had that one interception just with 2 seconds left in the first half. Doug Williams, on the other hand, on the sideline for the Redskins today. Last week, hit on 27 of 41. That was against the 49ers in San Francisco, 271 yards, but he had 3 touchdowns and 2 picked off. So Coach Gibbs told us yesterday he thought that Williams was just a little banged up, that he wasn't really 100%, that he needed a breath of fresh air, as he said, and he is on the sideline today. And not much of a quarterback controversy here, though, because Rypien and Williams get along very well, and Williams seemed to be taking his demotion well.
Well, he likes his job here at Washington. He likes the team that he's on. And in defense of Doug, not that he really needs it, but, you know, they're playing catch-up football these last few weeks. In 3 of the 4 losses, they've fallen behind team. So Doug Williams has been forced to throw more often than he'd like, and the teams have played good defense. I tell you, when you know a team has to pass, you're going to play better defense against them.
Mark Rypien on the sideline getting ready for the second half, and he'll be on the field first because the Browns will kick off to the Redskins to open the second half of play. 3-0, Cleveland leading on a Matt Bahr field goal from 37 yards away with 27 seconds left in the first half. Cleveland took the opening kickoff, marched all the way down the field, holding the ball nearly 9 minutes, but couldn't score. The first points not going on the board until 27 seconds were left. This kickoff sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. There you see the receiving alignment for the Redskins with Ricky Sanders standing at about his 5-yard line. Here's Bahr's kickoff. Sanders gathers it in at the 8. And is tripped up beyond the 25, falls forward to the 27-yard line, hit by Braggs at that point. A 19-yard return by Sanders. So Mark Rypien hitting on 50% of his passes today. For the season, 57%. He has thrown 15 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions. He's also the number 4 rusher on this team, but did not have a particularly sparkling first half. Spot the ball at the 27. Morris is the setback. And he gets the handoff. And again, the Redskins find the going tough on the ground against this Cleveland defense. Bob Golick and Carl Hairston put the clamps on Morris after he gained a couple.
Carl Hairston, boy, he's another old-timer. He and Butts, those guys, I played against both of them way back when I was playing. Hairston, of course, is in his 13th year out of Maryland East Shore. He's been a little banged up. They have him back in the lineup this week, and Big Carl is just doing a good 13 years of playing defensive end, buddy. That's a tough job.
Last week, he missed the first game since 1979, only the second of his 13-year career. 2nd and 8. Rypien floats it complete. The catch made by Art Monk and out of bounds just beyond the first down marker. Hanford Dixon was covering Monk, but he picked up 9 yards on the reception from Rypien.
Well, the offensive line of Washington gave Rypien plenty of time to come to Monk. Once again, the Cleveland secondary takes away the first receiver that Rypien would like to look for. You'll see Rypien looking downfield and then go over to Monk late. But that's good pass protection there, buddy.
First catch for Monk today. And his 52nd of the season. He's the second leading receiver. He had 9 against San Francisco last week. Morris across the 40 to the 42-yard line. He picked up 4 on that play. Grayson and Washington combined on the hit for Cleveland. And Grayson, the leading tackler in the first half for the Cleveland Browns, with 4 hits in the first half of play. Walton led Washington with 7. Second and 6. Cleveland leading Washington 3-0. Opening moments of the third quarter in a rainstorm at RFK in Washington, D.C. Play action pass. Rypien picks out a secondary receiver and completes the pass to Terry Orr. And Orr has a Redskin first down close to midfield. He picked up 8 yards. Mike Junkin and Hanford Dixon finally got Terry Orr to the ground.
Rypien is cool. He can't find his receiver, and he's able to come off the tour once again to Orr. But watch his pass protection. Little play action fake. I don't know whether that just held the line or this huge offensive line of Washington is doing a great job of pass protection. Of course, Bob Golick gets there a little late.
Rypien does complete it, though. First catch of the day for Orr, his 5th of the season. At midfield. Rypien again has a man wide open. Sanders makes the catch, and he is close to the 40-yard line and close to a first down. Minifield and Washington covering on the play, 9 or 10 yards. It depends on the spot. And it looks like in the second half, the Redskins now going almost exclusively to the pass.
Well, I think it's a good decision. They haven't been able to maintain any kind of ground game. Once again, it's terrific offensive blocking. And here you see Ricky Sanders. He's able to get away from Minifield because it's wet out there. Minifield tried to react, but he slipped a little bit and couldn't come out of his cut.
Got 9 yards at 2nd and 1 at the Cleveland 41-yard line. Morris hit, but manages to fall forward and pick up the first down. Good running that time by the rookie from Michigan, the 4th-round draft choice. Johnson and Washington put the hit on him, but he managed to fall forward for the Redskin first down.
You know this guy's tough, Jamie Morris. I mean, he played 4 years up there at Michigan under Bo Schembechler, and everyone that's a football fan knows that old Coach Schembechler doesn't take any fooling around. Big difference for Jamie Morris, I asked him the other day, is having to block those huge linebackers and read the blitzes as well as going out for passes. He didn't do much of that at Michigan.
Hate to bring this up, but he had a record 234 yards on the ground against your alma mater, Alabama, in the Hall of Fame Bowl earlier this year. There he is again. Took a good hit. Took a couple of them to get him down. Mike Johnson and Felix Wright. 5 yards on the gain to Jamie Morris, and suddenly the running game looks better for the Redskins.
Jamie Morris is strong, folks. He's only 5'7", but he has 188 pounds of muscle on that body, and he's as quick as a hiccup. He can jump around and tackle, boy, dart in and out of holes. And being 5'7", it's very difficult for the linebackers, the defensive backs, to find him when he's running behind that huge offensive line.
Now, that's what he said yesterday. He thought being 5'7" was an advantage, that I can hide behind those big linemen. 2nd and 5. Rypien's got a man wide open. Complete inside the 10. It's Sanders that makes the catch, and he's got a first down for the Redskins inside the 10-yard line of the Browns. 29-yard gain. Brian Washington finally was able to get Sanders out of bounds, but he was wide open. Well, 25.
He was wide open, Tom, because Cleveland did something uncharacteristic. They went to a zone defense. Here you see Dixon, 29, nowhere near the receiver. Number 48, Brian Washington, getting there later. Cleveland, instead of playing their typical man-for-man dog defense, went to a zone that time, and it hurt him.
So a 25-yard gain, first and goal from the 7. Best drive of the day for the Redskins. Rypien throws it incomplete. Monk was in the end zone and appeared to be behind the defense, and the ball just came off Rypien's hand. Funny, Joe.
He wasn't sure where he wanted to go with that one. He looked to the right and tried to find somebody open, but nothing was there. I think he was intending to throw it away.
21-7, Cincinnati over Buffalo, and Phoenix leading Philadelphia 14-7. Important games for fans of the Browns and the Redskins. Second and goal for the Redskins from the Browns 7-yard line. 3-0 Cleveland. 11:04 third quarter. Rypien chased. Dumps it off, and it'll be incomplete. Orr was juggling it and couldn't find the handle. Terry Orr had it in his hands and just bobbled it away.
Had he held on to this ball, he might have been able to get it into the end zone. Once again, Cleveland's pass defense is showing off a bit back there. There's not a receiver to be found, and Rypien is getting a little nervous. Finds Orr over here, and then Orr just can't quite control the ball.
Already the Redskins are closing in on their first half passing yardage. Third and goal from the 7. Rypien drills it. Touchdown. Gary Clark with a touchdown catch. 7 yards out, and the Redskins take the lead.
Good pass protection for Rypien. Once again, he's able to find Gary Clark in the soft spot in the zone, and he drilled that ball right on the numbers of Gary Clark.
Washington very impressive on its opening drive in the second half. And Chip Lohmiller is on to try to make it 7-3. Coleman, the punter, holds. And the kick is good. So Lohmiller now has hit 34 of 35. Clark made the touchdown catch.
Once again, on the right side of your screen, you'll see Gary Clark. But look at his pass protection now. Rypien has plenty of time, and he just drills that ball right into Clark for the first touchdown of the game.
Murata fax machines, built for the most important business in the world, yours.
Tom Hammond and Joe Namath at RFK Stadium. Lohmiller's kick bounds into the end zone for the touchback. It's covered by Young there, and the Browns will have it with a first down at their 20. Let's take a look at the touchdown again.
Well, once again, it's just excellent pass protection by that front wall of the Washington Redskins, and Rypien is right on target. Look at that ball. It had a lot of heat on it. Defenders didn't have a chance to get to it, and Clark, well, I guess he was kind of protecting himself, too, by making that catch.
You mentioned earlier about the great man coverage of the Cleveland secondary, and they were burned a couple of times when they went to zone during that drive.
Right, the big pass play down the sideline to Sanders, I believe, and on this last touchdown to Clark, they were in zone coverage both times.
First down Cleveland from their own 20-yard line. Redskins leading it now 7-3. First possession of the second half for Cleveland. Kozar checks off. The crowd really getting into it. And the handoff is to Kevin Mack, who only got a couple of yards. Dave Butts right in the middle of the line stacked it up.
the crowd helps so much. I know when you're out in that field and you hear the roar of your home crowd behind you, buddy, that adrenaline just starts pumping some more. Number 65, Dave Butts, in his 15th year. I mean, he is tough. I asked him if he's going to play anymore after this year. He said, Joe, I'm only worried about tomorrow. I'm worried about the next 5 games after this. I feel great. I do everything in the weight room. My body's in great shape.
38 years old, the oldest starter in the NFL. In fact, Don Strock, the backup quarterback of the Browns, is also 38 today. 2nd and 9. Kozar's pass incomplete. Over the head of the intended receiver, Earnest Byner. And Bernie Kosar is now 25 years old. He had a birthday Friday.
25. It seems Kosar has been around for more longer than that, right? He was a little off target on that last pass. Byner was open, but Bernie got it over his head. I don't know whether that ball is slick right now. You'd think it should be a little bit slick for the passers, as hard as it's raining.
One more birthday, and then I'll shut up about him. Joe Gibbs had his birthday Friday, the same day as Kosar. 3rd and 9 for Cleveland. Kosar scrambles. It's taken down. The ball came loose, but I don't think anyone saw it, and it nestled right next to Kosar. And he may have been down already anyway. Hamill and Vaughn tackle Kosar for a loss of 5, the 5th Redskins sack of the day.
Well, Wilbur Marshall rushes from this side, number 58. Clarence Vaughn, 31, makes the play, the safety from the right side. Now the ball is loose, and it's just sitting there, folks. I don't know. I'd like to see that again sometime, whether that ball is a live ball or not. I mean, it was just sitting on the ground.
Punt coming up from Runniger. Out of bounds at about the 10-yard line. Well, Joe, you had been talking about the fact that the Redskins had not blocked a punt all season.
I mean, we were shocked. The Redskins always have been known for their special teams, and with the rule change this year, only giving 5 yards to running into the punter, you'd think the Redskins would have some blocked punts. This week they told me that number 25, Oliphant, would be the man to designate to do it. Now, I don't know if this is in fact him, but
it is.
It sure is. He's the guy that gets in there. He's the one that they had this play designed for, and it worked.
I think you jogged Gibbs' brain on the other day and said, why haven't you had a block punt?
Here he is right there, coming clean in the middle. Of course, Coach Gibbs said they've been putting on returns, etc., trying to get good run backs is one of the reasons they didn't block one yet to this point.
Redskins have it 1st and goal at the Cleveland 9. Morris takes some Cleveland players with him inside the 5-yard line. Bob Golick was hanging on, so was Clay Matthews, but the little guy Morris kept the legs churning and got it inside the 5-yard line.
He followed in there behind Joe Jacoby and Mark May, and those fellas blew that defensive front off the line a little bit. Here's Runniger. He's not too happy with that blocked punt. I don't think any punters are ever happy when they get them blocked. He's probably trying to figure out what went wrong.
The 2nd punt he's had blocked this season. 2nd and goal from the 4. Jamie Morris looked like his older brother Joe on that one, carrying the Browns along with him. He gets it again. Not much there this time, though. Maybe a yard to the 3-yard line. Golick was ready for him. Bob Golick, who's been to the Pro Bowl the last 3 years, ready for the running play as we update the scores.
Phoenix, I tell you, Cliff Stout must be doing a good job with those Cardinals over there at Philadelphia.
Chicago still just up 7-0 on the Packers. Pittsburgh winning at home, and Atlanta by a touchdown. Marty Schottenheimer and his defense hoping to hold the Redskins out of the end zone on 3rd and goal from the 3. Rypien for the corner, knocked away at the last minute. Great defensive play again by the Browns. Felix Wright recovered to bat the ball away.
Coach Schottenheimer pointed out that Felix Wright was having a Pro Bowl type season. I know Schottenheimer was happy to see him show up to break that pass up, but the problem here is Rypien's late getting the ball out there. The receiver's open. You see he's way out in front. Rypien was late coming to him. I don't know whether that's lack of practice with your first unit or what, but had Rypien got that ball released a little bit earlier, that could have been 6.
Lohmiller will try the field goal from about 21 yards. From this range, he's hit 6 of 7. And it's good. 21-yard field goal by Lohmiller ups the Washington lead. It's 10-3 Redskins. And here is the lineup of games coming up next Sunday here on NBC. Buffalo at Tampa, Indianapolis at Miami, the Chargers at the Bengals, and Seattle at New England. And the late games, Denver at the Raiders, the Jets at Kansas City. Lohmiller's kick taken by Fontenot. Fontenot is buried at the 17-yard line. And now the Redskins special teams seem inspired, Joe. That block punt surely picked him up.
Oh, and the house, too. I mean, the cheering from the fans, that's got to inspire the team. But Redskins haven't been in this kind of position for a while. They have the lead now. The defense is playing well, and I'm sure Mark Rypien has to feel good with the lead. That's got to do something for his confidence. But here's a guy right now, Bernie Kosar, one of the best in all the game, and being 3 points behind doesn't faze him one little bit. He's just going back to work.
He'll start from his own 18-yard line. Kosar fires a bullet, and Brennan has it at the 30. It's Clarence Weathers with the reception for 13 yards. Darrell Green covering on the play, but Weathers made the catch, and the Browns quickly have a first down.
Well, as fast as Darrell Green is, once a receiver gets to the inside, it becomes a foot race across the field. Here we see the good pass protection by Farron. Manley never gets into the play. In fact, it was good pass protection by that entire offensive unit.
Bernie Kosar has the ball at his own 30, trailing 10-3, 7:15 in the third quarter. Kosar goes deep. Intercepted by Barry Wilburn. Wilburn makes the interception, his second of the season. The man who led the league in interceptions with 9 a year ago picks off his second, and the Redskins continue to have all the momentum at RFK.
Playing a passing game, Kosar had Weathers deep, but he underthrew the pass, and Barry Wilburn outplays Weathers for the interception. Well, we'll get to this play first, Tom.
It is the Redskins with a first down at the 32. Jamie Morris carries straight ahead. David Grayson stopped him after a gain of 5.
I was going to say, I can't help but wondering if Kosar's arm is 100%. Now, I know he can throw the intermediate range passes, but that long bomb that you need to get the ball out there in front, I don't know if Bernie's arm is back to 100% from that earlier elbow injury.
There's Kosar with the jacket on in the rain here at RFK. He injured that right elbow against Kansas City and was out 6 weeks. Morris finds the going a little tougher this time. He's met head on by Golick and Hairston and thrown back. One of the big disappointments of the season for the Redskins has been their giveaway takeaway ratio. They always prided themselves on the way that they took the ball away from the opposition. In '83, they set a record with a +43. This was a shocking statistic to me. Their rank of 26th in the NFL coming into today's game.
Yeah, well, they've done a good job today so far. You know, this statistic is an important stat. Next to winning and losing, I think the most important stat. They gave the ball away 15 times in the last 3 losses.
They have a 3rd and 4 here, off an interception, off a takeaway. Rypien stands in the pocket and then short hops the intended receiver. It'll be incomplete. Intended for Clark. And the Skins will have to punt it. Greg Coleman will come on to punt as we check the ticker. And the Bengals still with a 14-point lead. Phoenix on the road. Miami and the Jets have tightened up a bit, so have Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Here's Coleman. And McNeil will receive the punt. Looks like the Redskins get nothing out of that takeaway as they're in punt formation. No wind to speak of here today. McNeil lets it bounce. Then he tries to take it and is buried. Cleveland will have the ball at about the 24-yard line. When we come back, 38-yard punt. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath, one of only a handful who are warm and dry here at RFK Stadium this afternoon. As the rain continues to come down, at least the temperature is not too bad. But it's been steadily raining since about the second quarter. Ball at the 24-yard line. Cleveland has a first down at that point, trailing 10-3 and 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Kozar has good protection. Completes it to Fontenot. He's to the 30 and across to the 31-yard line. He got about 6 or 7 yards on the play. Mel Kaufman recovered to make the tackle after the gain of 7.
I'll tell you, the defense of the Redskins has to love this position they're in now. They've been behind so many games, and they've had such poor field position. With this lead, the defense has got to feel mighty good. They're playing a soft zone defense. They're going to force Kozar to put together a lot of little passes to make this drive.
2nd and 3 for the Browns. Mack shakes a couple of tacklers, still going beyond the 40-yard line, and a Cleveland first down. Alvin Walton was hanging on for dear life as Mack chugged upfield.
Well, the running game, if Cleveland can get it going, here you see Marshall, number 58, try and make the play, but Byner effectively takes Marshall out of the play, and Mack is able to make a good run. Earnest Byner does more than just catch and run. He's a good blocker as well.
From the 42-yard line, Cleveland trying to mount a drive here to tie the game. Mack hit, dropped at the 40. Loss on the play. Dexter Manley stopped him for a loss of 2.
And Manley makes the play. I mean, he might have gotten credit for the tackle by sticking his arm out and trapping him, but Darrell Grant, number 77 right there, is the one that disrupted the blocking scheme of the Redskins. When you get a defensive tackle like Grant or Butts that's able to get penetration into that backfield, that fouls up the blocking scheme, and it forces the quarterback to stay back. He can't step up into the pocket. A good play by Darrell Grant that time.
2nd and 12 for the Browns. Dexter Manley had a little holiday message from Pete Rozelle, didn't he? Said, cool it a little bit, Dexter. Kozar across the middle, wide open, incomplete. And the ball is to Langhorne, who has another Cleveland first down. That one went for 16 yards to the 45-44 of the Redskins. Mel Kaufman recovered, but Langhorne was wide open.
Well, he's going to come from the bottom right of the screen, and he's just going to find a dead spot inside of Wilbur Marshall there and short of Volkowitz, right there in the middle. Kozar finds him smartly. Once again, Kozar had good pass protection. You give any one of these quarterbacks time to throw, well, someone with Kozar's anticipation especially, and they're going to move the ball on you.
18 of 28 for Kozar, and Langhorne having another good day. Langhorne has the 5 longest scoring plays for the Browns this season. Kozar's in trouble. He's dropped back at the 45-yard line. Dexter Manley breathing down his neck. 6th sack of the day for the Redskins, and number 2 for Manley.
Dexter said, yeah, I hope somebody's watching me. I hope they're all watching me because I'm going to get a sack. Dexter with all of his speed. He's on the left side of your screen, and he beats number 74, Paul Fair, and he just stands him up and then runs right around him with that brilliant speed. Dexter having a good year, but sometimes he says, I feel like people are picking on me.
Yeah.
I was like, could it be some of the things you do, Dexter?
6'3", 257 with a mean disposition, and they're picking on him. Second down, about 20 yards to go. Again, Kozar in trouble, but he steps up and delivers a strike. It's complete to Weathers. He's at the 35-yard line, about a yard short of the first down. It covered 19 yards.
Brilliant pass protection up there, affording Kozar a chance to step up. Now you see Weathers here with Darrell Green, and he's just going to jump inside of him with that pass protection. He just runs away from Green, and Kozar gets it to him. But again, the key is affording Kozar a place to move, Tom, to step up away from Dexter Manley's rush and Charles Mann's rush from the outside.
They've kept the center open for him all day, haven't they?
Yes,
so
they
he
have.
is able to step up and deliver it. It's third and about 2 yards here. I formation in the backfield. Mack, he's got the first down and more, almost to the 30-yard line. Alvin Walton, the strong safety, had to come up to stop Mack, who not only picked up the first down, but gained 5 yards on the play.
Well, Mack got a good hole over there. Some blocking from the right side. Cody Risen and Dan Fike, you see on the top of the screen. They just get a body, and there's a nice body on each guy, and there's a nice crack in there for Byner to get through. And Walton had his hands full, I believe, trying to bring Mack down.
Fike, 6'7", 280 pounds. Risen, 6'7", 280. A weighty issue as Fike and Butts, the earth moves when those two collide. From the 31, a first down for the Browns. Kozar hits Langhorne. Stopped in his tracks. He gained 1, maybe 2 yards. Wilbur Marshall was ready for that one and immediately pounced on him. And now they say for no gain.
Well, that's Wilbur Marshall, all Wilbur Marshall. He could drop back and take away that short hook pattern downfield, then he can close so quickly on the receiver for a no-gainer.
And that's the end of the third quarter with a score, the Redskins 10, the Browns 3. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. About ready to start the fourth quarter, and through 3, Joe, the Browns continue to dominate the stats, though they trail on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's where the important stat is, that score. And right now the Redskins have that 7-point lead. They played a good game so far. The only turnover they had was there at the end of the first half, whenever they just threw the ball up for grabs, which was all right. So the Redskins are playing a solid game.
Tom Hammond and Joe Namath at RFK Stadium. David Deal, our producer. Andy Rosenberg, our director. Joe Costanza is here on stats. We've got a good one. Start the fourth quarter. 10-3 Redskins. 2nd and 9 for the Browns at the Washington 30. Kozar almost fumbled the snap, but he managed to get it to the draw play to Mack, and Mack pounds ahead to the 15-yard line. Cleveland looking good. Let's check in with Bob Costas.
No, Tom, this is Ahmad Rashad, but the Dolphins are trailing the Jets 24-14 when the Dolphins scored 2 touchdowns in 69 seconds. This is the first one. Marino finds Clayton on this 31-yard touchdown. Then seconds later, Clayton catches his second touchdown on the day. A great leaping catch, gets into the end zone. And Miami leads it 27-24.
Sorry, Ahmad. They told me it would be Bob. So, Ahmad Rashad with the update. And here at RFK, 10-3 Redskins, but Cleveland threatening with a first down at the 16. Mack, off-tackle play, hard to bring down. He's almost to the 10. Todd Bowles finally hangs on and gets him to the ground. Well, Ahmad gave us the update on the Miami Jet game. Here are the other scores. And Cincinnati ups its lead. Not surprised that Cincinnati is on the long end of the score, but the margin does surprise me a bit.
Yeah, and me too. I know Cincinnati's at home. That's got to be a big edge, but both of these teams are fine defensive teams. I'm surprised at that wide a margin.
And at RFK, 10-3 Skins. 2nd and 6 for the Browns. The ball spotted at the 12 of Washington. Kozar changing the play. No, he's saying he can't hear.
Sometimes when the quarterback turns around, you get a little help from the referee. The fans even get more excited and start yelling louder. But as a quarterback, folks, you're schooled, you're drilled. Do not get up under center to take that snap if you're not absolutely sure your guys can hear. Don't let the official talk you into getting up there. Some quarterbacks, they kind of get pushed into taking the snap. I don't think Kozar will do that. He'll take it as long as he can so he can get his offense to hear.
What would the referee say to you?
Come on, let's go. Try and get it snapped. Try and get it snapped. You're just exciting the crowd. Get up under center. And the quarterback says, I can't. My players can't hear.
Kozar's going to try it. With a long count to boot, and he can't hear. And the fans, realizing they're having an effect, do become inspired.
Oh, yeah, sure. You see, the thing I was always a little bit edgy about is putting my hands up underneath the center, knowing that people can't hear. What if that center thinks he hears something and snaps the ball quickly, you know? And it's an uncomfortable feeling as a quarterback, even putting your hands under the center when you don't want that snap.
Here we go again. Mack inside the 10, pounds forward to about the 7-yard line. Kevin Mack has been a welcome addition to this Cleveland offense today. Neil Olkowitz made the tackle for the Redskins. He's rushed for 93 yards in his return to the Cleveland lineup.
And the rushing game is helped here when the passing gets a little off. They can go to a ground attack and gain some yardage. The defense can't always play pass. They have to play the run. It helps open up the play action pass. But this man, Kevin Mack, has gained a lot of these yards on his own by breaking tackles today. Such a strong runner.
And he's already over 90 for today. 3rd and 1 from the Redskins 7. Mack tries to bounce outside. Gets to the 5-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Let's go back to Ahmad Rashad now at NFL Live. He has another update for us.
All right, Tom, in Cincinnati, the Bengals are winning big over the Buffalo Bills after this 1-yard touchdown run by Ickey Woods. His second of the day, his 12th of the year. The Bills trail 28-7.
Looked like a flag going down for that end zone celebration, but the Bengals with plenty of reason to celebrate at Riverfront today. Kevin Mack has carried 4 straight times from the 30 down to the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal at that point. Byner is the only setback now, and flags fly as the Browns offense obviously disrupted by the crowd noise.
Well, I have to believe Rakosi wasn't sure about the snap count. The rest of the team got off early. Even Kozar looked like he wanted to back out. I think Rakosi, the center for the Cleveland Browns, was a little mixed up or he couldn't hear.
Fred Wyant and his crew discussing it. And here's the call.
False start, offense. First down.
Marty Schottenheimer on the sideline, and here's what happened.
Well, you see everybody moving, Kozar pulling out, and Rakosi didn't snap the ball. Somebody thought it was on 1 when it was on 2.
First down now, but the ball back to the 10-yard line. First, it should be 1st and goal. Kozar stands in there and then delivers it. No one close to the football. Maybe Langhorne back at the end of the end zone was closest to it, but Kozar felt the pressure and had to unload it. Darrell Grant was leading the charge, and Charles Mann was in there as well.
Oh, it was that pressure. Here's Rakosi, number 73, to center. He's looking to see who he's going to block or try to hear the snap count 1. But the thing that broke this pass play up was the pressure from the left side that Kozar got. He threw the ball off target because he got hit.
2nd and goal from the 10. Byner on the draw. gets it back to the 5-yard line. He got about 5 yards on the play. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 5 for the Browns.
Wilbur Marshall's been all over the field today on the right side of your screen, number 58. He wants to get up here and make the tackle. Byner puts a good move to jump outside, showing some nice quickness, and Marshall could never quite get into the play.
Cleveland bidding to tie the game. The Redskins lead it 10-3, 10 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game. Each of these teams needing a win to stay alive for the playoff hunt. And Washington only had 10 men on the field. They have to take a timeout. It comes with 10:37 left in the game, and the Redskins up by 7. Almost a 10-minute drive for the Browns, but this one the big one. 3rd and goal from the 5. Kozar for the end zone. Incomplete, a flag down. Darrell Green colliding. And I believe it's going to be called for interference as they discuss it. Manley pleading the case. Green walks away in disgust, and Joe
Pass
Gibbs.
interference, number 28. The ball's on the 1-yard line. First down.
So it is Darrell Green called for pass interference.
Tell you, this is a tough call. On the top left of your screen, you'll see Green going downfield with Brennan. The ball's underthrown, and Brennan tries to get back to it, and Green just happens to be in great shape. Now, that's a tough one to call there. I really, being a defensive player that I used to be, thinks this is a lousy call. Meantime, I don't know how Green could have gotten out of his way. I really can't believe that should have been pass interference.
When were you a defensive player?
Oh, man, my days at Alabama, and running down a lot of backs after they intercepted passes.
1st and goal from the 1. That was a 4-yard penalty. Kozar hands it to Mack. Stopped short. Did he fumble? No, the ball was dead.
Going back to that last play with Green, you see, he had position, and the position between the ball and the receiver was there. He didn't try to take anything away from it. What is he saying?
I think his mic is shorting out Fred Wyant. He was saying the ball was down.
All right, well, here's the play again. See if we can get a better look. There's Green in the bottom. Well, he put that left arm up. Had he not put that left arm up, I think he could have gotten away with it. But seeing this replay, he did put a left arm up, Tom.
So he gave him a forearm to the chest.
Yep.
2nd and goal from the 1. Mack. Touchdown, Cleveland. So the Cleveland Browns march down the field and are only the extra point away from tying the game. They get a crucial pass interference call in the end zone. And Marty Schottenheimer and Joe Gibbs hoping to get their teams back into the playoffs and going right down to the wire with 9:41 left. And Bahr on to try to tie the game. Mack, 96 yards on the day.
Mack simply takes the handoff through a good hole once again by this Cleveland Brown offensive line. You know, those linemen are happy to have Mack back in there, too.
Bahr's kick splits the uprights. There's a flag down. There's a flag on the play.
Holding, number 91.
So the holding call against Cleveland, against Sam Clancy, and they'll have to kick over.
Well, it's a short extra point try, I know, but it's not automatic. With the weather conditions, the ball's a little bit slick. The center's got to make a good snap, and the holder's got to catch a wet ball. Let's see if this is the hold over here by Clancy, number 91. Look how he hooked his arm inside there on Darrell Green to pull him to the ground. You're not allowed to do that, Clancy.
So now it'll be a 30-yard extra point attempt by Matt Bahr. It's still good. So the Cleveland Browns with a 76-yard drive, and the extra point have tied the score at 10. The Cleveland Browns with a long drive. It consumed nearly 11 minutes. It covered 76 yards. Mack got it over for the touchdown after the pass interference call kept the drive alive. Here's Bahr's kick, taken by Sanders. To the 20. Almost got to the outside. Dives forward beyond the 30-yard line where the Redskins take over. Let's go to Ahmad Rashad.
Tom, Miami at the Jets. The Dolphins have stunned the Jets. The slumping Dan Marino is slumping no more. Here he hits Farrell Edmonds on this 80-yard touchdown. The Dolphins have scored 20 unanswered points. Marino has thrown 5 touchdown passes on the day. The Dolphins lead 34-24.
And here at RFK, a 10-10 deadlock with 9:32 left in the game. The Redskins have the ball. First down at their 31. Morris. Good run by Jamie Morris. Shakes off a couple of tacklers. He's out to the 40-yard line. A gain of 13 and a Redskin first down. Eddie Johnson made the tackle for the Cleveland Browns.
Big hole on the left side of the line over here. Jim Lachey, number 79, checks off, and he blocks the linebacker Johnson. And boy, there's a lot of running room in there for Jamie Morris. Eddie Johnson recovers to get the first hit, but a nice hole by the offensive line.
The Redskin running game has certainly been more powerful here in the second half. Morris again. Cuts it upfield. Got about 2 or 3 that time. In on the tackle, Clay Matthews and Mike Johnson, a couple of the linebackers, the talented Brown linebackers.
Redskins running game has improved, but I still feel they're going to have to pass the ball successfully to convert some points on this drive. I don't think they're going to be able to keep it on the ground, go right down the field and score, not against this Cleveland bunch with the fine linebacking core that they have. They're going to have to put it in the air.
Spot the ball at the 49, so a gain of 5 on the last play for Morris. It's 2nd and 5. Morris, the tailback in the eye. Here's a reverse. Art Monk, he's got running room inside the 40 to the 30 and knocked out of bounds at about the 26-yard line by Frank Minifield. 24 yards on the reverse to Monk.
What a beautiful play. Washington makes it look like it's going to be a run up the middle. Then they run the reverse with Monk around here. Hey, all he has is teammates out in front of him, and Clay Matthews making a desperate leap at him and couldn't get him. Now, if you could get this kind of yardage on your running plays, folks, I'd say, yeah, stay with the running game. Don't worry about passing.
8 minutes left in the game. First down, Redskins at the Brown 28-yard line. Game tied at 10. Morris up the middle. Stopped at the 25 by Eddie Johnson. Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 coming up. Buffalo gets another touchdown. Philadelphia seesaws back on top of the Cardinals. We had the update from Ahmad on the Miami Jet game. And here at RFK, a 10-10 contest, 7:30 left. Fumbled football. Let's see who got it. Back to the Redskins. And falling on the ball was Russ Grimm, the veteran offensive lineman of the Redskins, who made a saving recovery of the fumble.
Well, I don't know what caused the fumble, but you've got to figure they're lucky to just have one so far. Here you see Grimm, number 68, getting in and getting on the ball. Remember, the regular center, the starting center for the Redskins, Bostic, has been injured, and Raleigh McKenzie is playing center. So that may have contributed to the fumble. I'm not sure.
Mark Rypien facing a 3rd and 5. All at the 23 of the Browns. Monk in motion, and Rypien will pass. Incomplete. Knocked away at the last minute. A good defensive play by by Will Hill of the Browns. Oliphant, the intended receiver, and Hill, who was in on the nickel package, managed to knock it away.
Hill gets a little help from the umpire here, who is just shielding the ball a little bit. And, well, if the ball's out in front a little farther, maybe they'd have had the completion. But I didn't see much in that play. Will Hill almost took it the other way. If he held on to it, he'd have had an open field to run for.
So a field goal attempt coming up. Coleman, the punter, holds. Chip Lohmiller will try the field goal. There's Coleman getting set. It'll be about 40 or 41 yards. About a 41-yard attempt. His longest has been 46. Lohmiller from 40. The Redskins regain the lead. A 40-yard field goal by Chip Lohmiller, the rookie out of Minnesota. And with 6:27 left, the Redskins are in front. Here's the kick. It's been a seesaw affair here at RFK, and the kick taken by the Browns. Glenn Young comes forward to the 20 and is stopped in his tracks right there. So 80 yards away from the end zone, the Cleveland Browns take over, trailing by a field goal, and 6 minutes, 19 seconds left in the game.
Well, you know, Tom, that last drive, Cleveland used up 10 minutes and 50-some-odd seconds on the clock. Now, they don't have that luxury now. They're going to have to throw the ball more often. They can't just stay with the run game. It's been so successful for them. So I'm sure we'll see Kozar put the ball in the air more often.
He's hit on 20 of 30 for 188 yards today. Byner in motion. Kozar hits him with a pass. Byner makes a good gain out of it. Picks up 7 on the play as he's knocked out of bounds. And it was mostly due to the running of Byner there as he caught the short pass, finally stopped on the play by Kaufman.
Tell you what else helped in this play was Byner's ability and his presence of mind to go after the ball. When Kozar threw the pass, Byner actually goes back to catch the ball to take it away from Alvin Walton, the defender. If you watch on the left side of your screen, you'll see Byner closing in to catch the pass. And by going for the ball, he's able to get away from Alvin Walton and make the game.
2nd and 3 for the Browns. Kevin Mack has a first down, stopped just short of the 30 as we go back to Ahmad Rashad for an update.
All right, Tom, in Cincinnati, Buffalo, with the best record in the NFL, is fighting its way back. Here, Jim Kelly finds Andre Reed on this 36-yard, appears to be a touchdown to me, but I'm sitting here in New York. The referee didn't think so. They mark it at the 1. Rob Riggs scores on the next play. The Bengals lead 28-21.
Wow, the Bills not dead yet. Here at RFK, you see the clock inside 5 minutes and a 3-point Washington lead. The Browns have it 3rd down and a yard to go at their own 29. Kevin Mack lowers his head and picks up the Brown first down, and that should be enough to give him 100 yards rushing on the day. And the Browns keep the ball as Mack picks up a tough first down. 101 yards rushing for Kevin Mack after missing 2 consecutive games. Looks a little tired, Joe, but he's still in there.
Well, that's the thing Marty Schottenheimer, the coach, was concerned with, was his stamina. Since Mack hadn't played the last 2 weeks, he told me he'd use him about half the time, but I think he's using him a lot more than he planned on.
First down from the 32. Delayed handoff. Kevin Mack bouncing off tacklers at the 40. Gets a block at the 45 to the 47. Kevin Mack for 15 yards. Walton and Bowles finally stop him. But Mack, is he asking to come out with his hand in the air?
Yes, he is. That's why that hand's up. He wants to get a little blow now. We thought he was a bit tired, and again, that's what Schottenheimer's concerned with. Here's a draw play. Now, Mack will jump around one tackler. Watch his quick change of direction. For a big man, I tell you, he has some awfully quick feet. I bet he's a good dancer, Tom.
I don't want to have him step on my foot, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
For the 9th time in his career, he's over 100 yards rushing. And the Browns have a first down at the 47. Kozar's pass in and out of the hands of Herman Fontenot and incomplete. Stops the clock with 3:01 remaining.
Herman's not happy with that drop pass, of course, but he wasn't going to get very far. Clarence Vaughn, the safety, was right there, right behind him to make the tackle had he held on to it. Bernie would have liked to have gotten downfield to one of his wide receivers, but there was good coverage by that Skins secondary downfield.
13-10 Redskin lead. 2nd and 10 from the Cleveland 47. Kozar's pass incomplete. Batted away by Alvin Walton, intended for Ozzie Newsome. Clock stops at 2:57. That's some game at Riverfront today.
Oh boy, Buffalo has come back. 1 touchdown down.
And a tremendous game here at RFK Memorial Stadium in the nation's capital. Joe Gibbs' team clinging to a 3-point lead. 2:57 left. Cleveland has it 3rd and 10 at the 47. Pressure on Kozar. Lets it go complete. Brennan's got it. Out of bounds at about the 31-yard line. Kozar with a clutch delivery to Brennan for a Cleveland first down. It went for 22 yards.
Wilbur Marshall nearly gets in there to get Kozar, but number 58, what you look like he's coming clean, but just at the last second, Byner gets a little bit of shoulder on him to slow him down, and Kozar with that great anticipation and touch on his pass just lays it out there beautifully for Brennan. Here you see Marshall nearly getting him, but look how far out in front Kozar lays that pass. A beautiful pass.
Joe, you're the expert, but Kozar and Marino would seem to me to be in a class all by themselves and getting rid of the football at the last minute.
Their anticipation is the best, yes.
Tim Manoa into the game for the first time, carries the ball to the 30, got 1 or maybe 2 yards on the play, and the clock continues to move down to 2:40. Mann and Grant stopping Tim Manoa.
What Cleveland wants to do now, certainly, number 1, they'd like to score. Number 2, they'd like to use a lot of the clock while they're doing it so they don't give the ball back to Washington with time for Washington to score again. So they'd like to eat this clock up and continue to move the ball.
Matt Bahr on the sideline right now. What would be about a 47-yard attempt. His longest of the season has been 47. The Browns hope to get him a little closer. Kozar in the flat, complete to Mack. Mack dodges a tackler, then is wrapped up and banged down just inside the 30. It'll be short of the first down. The ball came loose, but it was ruled down. All right, we've come to the 2-minute warning in Washington, D.C. A dramatic conclusion coming up. Joe Gibbs, coach of the Super Bowl champions, hoping to hang on to a 3-point lead here at RFK, and it's been a great game, a well-played game from 2 teams that are struggling to make the playoffs again this year, but impressive today.
Hey, these teams are struggling to make the playoffs, but people in football know these are 2 good teams. I mean, these fellas don't come at the top of your most desirable list of opponents that you want to play.
Here's what the Cleveland Browns have done today. Kozar's passed for 219 yards. He's hit 23 of 36. Kevin Mack over 100 yards rushing. Byner, the leading receiver on the year, has caught 7 balls. And Bahr has hit 1 of 2. He missed a field goal, which would have tied the game, of course, as we look at it now in the first quarter. Right now it's 3rd down and about 7 yards to go for the first down. Cleveland has the ball at the 27 of the Redskins. The score, is 13-10 Washington. This is the 10th play of the drive. On the ground, it's Byner to the 10. Touchdown. Earnest Byner carries 27 yards for the Brown touchdown, and the Redskins seem shocked. Byner, of course, fumbled it against Denver in the AFC Championship game a year ago, or it might have been the Browns and the Redskins in the Super Bowl.
That's right. And that play calling right there, folks, any offensive coordinator would have been happy to make this one. A beautiful block and trap in the middle. Once again, a missed tackle in there. And those missed tackles kill the defense. And Byner, with second effort, gets in that end zone. Good call by Coach Schottenheimer.
Bahr hits the extra point after Byner, with his longest run of the year, has given Cleveland a 17-13 lead. The Cleveland Browns celebrating on the sideline after they cover 80 yards in 10 plays, just over 4.5 minutes, converting 3 big third downs, and then getting this run from Earnest Byner, his longest run of the season.
Good run, good blocking up front. And I think it was a brilliant play call. It's a crucial situation. Washington's coming after the pass, and it was a good draw call, and give old Coach Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator, a big plus for that one, folks. They've been on his case the last few weeks about the plays he's been calling, and Coach Gibbs, I know, is not very happy. He needs a touchdown now to get a win here. 3 points won't help him.
And Mark Rypien, the young quarterback, will bear the responsibility of taking his team downfield with just 1:49 remaining. Doug Williams, most valuable player in the Super Bowl with that fantastic game, sitting on the top of the bench on the Redskins sideline, and the Redskins desperately needing a win to stay in playoff contention.
Boy, how the game of football works on one's nervous system, on their emotions. A few moments ago, the Washington Redskins were sky high. They'd stopped Cleveland. They kicked a field goal. They went ahead, and everyone was happy. Now you look at Doug Williams on the sideline on the bench there, and just pondering, what have we done again? We've gotten ourselves into a tough situation. What do you have to do to win, huh, Doug?
Remember, the Redskins have only 2 timeouts left. They took one when they had only 10 men on the field on defense. Sanders chases into his own end zone and downs it there. So 80 yards to go for the Redskins and 1:49 left. Here's the Washington report card. How would you assess Rypien's day?
Well, I think he's done well. He hasn't played as good as he could, certainly. He's missed some open receivers. Morris has done a good job. Hey, the Redskins haven't played a bad game today. I think the Cleveland Browns have played a good game, and that's the reason they're up right now.
Cleveland 17, Washington 13. First down, Mark Rypien and the Redskins at their own 20. And once again, 1:49 showing on the clock. Rypien pumps once and then lets it go. It's incomplete. Art Monk was the intended receiver, and Mark Harper was with him.
Yeah, Mark Harper was all over him. Coach Gibbs getting into the play calling act right now. That's Don Bro to his left, the gentleman that singles in the plays. Tough situation for a young quarterback to drive 80 yards against the best pass defense in football, the Cleveland Browns.
Monk goes in motion. Rypien. Incomplete, through the hands of Oliphant, the intended receiver. It looked like it went right through his hands, Joe.
It looked like it went right past the defender and through Oliphant's hands. Look here at the top of your screen. This isn't it here. This is Gary Clark. But right here, 25 coming into play. And the ball's going to go right through his arms. Looky there. Oh, how he'd wish to have that one back.
Oliphant, the man that blocked the punt earlier that led to a Redskin score. 3rd and 10 for Rypien with 1:39 left. Rypien chased from the pocket. Ain't set, and is sacked. Taken down at the 7-yard line. The Cleveland Browns sacking Rypien for the first time today, and it comes at a crucial time for a loss of 13 yards.
It's going to make it 4th down and 23 yards here. It's a long way to go, but hey, Rypien was doing everything he could to try and find an open receiver. That's one time that, you know, folks say, well, why doesn't he throw the ball away? Hey, he kept trying to get to an open receiver. He's trying to win this game. Now it's a tough situation.
Clancy sacked him, and it's 4th and 21. Here's Rypien's pass. Monk, he's got it. Knocked down at the 30-yard line. Is it enough for the first down? It's right at the marker. This will be a crucial spot for the Redskins. Rypien signaling for the timeout. Let's see if he got enough.
Art Monk comes up with a big catch. He's in the middle of your screen, and he simply runs straight down the field. Now, had Felix Wright, the safety, gone for the ball here, he might have had it intercepted. Well, no, he's coming in a little late. Oh, and he tried to jar it loose, but Monk does a wonderful job of holding on to that ball.
He did indeed. He is a strong man for a wide receiver. That pays off for him here.
Oh, sure. He takes a hard hit right there. My goodness. And he appears to be well over the line, enough for the first down.
And it is a Redskin first down. Clutch reception, Rypien to Monk. And with 53 seconds and 1 timeout left, the Redskins have a first down at their own 30.
Well, you mentioned earlier, Tom, the Redskins had, well, I should say wasted timeout, but that's what it's going to amount to. They didn't have enough men on the field last time Cleveland was down there, and they had to call a timeout early in the 4th quarter. Now they only have 1 left. It may come back to haunt them.
Remember, the Redskins have to score a touchdown. They trail by 4. Rypien rolling to his right, sets, fires, intercepted. Intercepted by the Cleveland Browns. And once again, the Browns pass defense comes to the fore, and Mark Harper, with his 2nd interception of the season, kills the Redskin drive. It was a tipped ball, and Harper was there to gather it in.
Not only kills the Redskin drive, but I think it's going to kill their playoff hopes. I don't believe they're going to make it with 7 losses. Right here in the middle of the screen, the ball's a little high. Now, had the ball been down, it might have been a completion, but you see the ball's a little high. Sanders, how much of his hands does he get on the ball? I don't know. The ball's wet. And, of course, Harper's right there, happily accepts the ball, you know. I like the way he found a hole out there, too, to hide in, Tom, go down to the ground. He didn't want to risk the fumble. Right here, Harper will go ahead and lay down just so he doesn't fumble the ball.
So now the Browns will just try to kill the clock and preserve the victory. Joe Gibbs says turnovers have contributed to their downfall this season, and we just had graphic evidence of that. So the defending Super Bowl champions in danger of not returning to the playoffs. If the season had ended before today's game, they would not have been in the playoffs. And here are the contenders, and Washington down at the bottom of the list if they lose this game, and it appears they will, to go 6-7. The Redskins calling their final timeout with 39 seconds left in the game. As far as the AFC is concerned, we'll get to them in a moment. Cleveland trailing some of the AFC Eastern teams that still play each other. So the Browns have a bit of an edge over the Redskins in that department, and Buffalo already has clinched the Eastern Division title, although they trail Cincinnati at the moment in today's action. It's been a rainy, soggy afternoon, but a tremendous football game, which will end on a sour note for Doug Williams and Mark Rypien, the quarterbacks of the Redskins. But Marty Schottenheimer playing at RFK Stadium with the Browns here for the first time since 1971, racking up the victory. Joe Costanza on stats today. Danny Ben and Mike Neifer are spotters. Helping in the booth, Chick Becker and Joe Band. And it's been a great football game. The Cleveland Browns will hold on to win it by a 17-13 final margin as Doug Williams watched from the sidelines. And we'll be back back to wrap things up from RFK Stadium in just a moment. Final score, the Browns 17, the Redskins 13. The Cleveland Browns defeat the Washington Redskins. They go 8-5 on the season. Here are the Browns' remaining games. They're home to play Dallas. Then they go on the road at Miami, and then a big one against the Houston Oilers to end the season on December 18th. The Redskins, with flickering hopes for the playoffs, now are 6-7 on the year. They're at Philadelphia. They're home against Dallas, and then wind up with a tough one, too, at Cincinnati. So the Cleveland Browns defeating the Washington Redskins. We'll be back with our game Most Valuable Player right after these messages. Tom Hammond and Joe Namath again at RFK Stadium, where Cleveland has defeated Washington 17-13. We told you we'd be back with our MVP, and there's a little lobbying going on here. We were between Kevin Mack and Earnest Byner. Ernest is down on the sideline. What's your vote, Ernest?
I think Kevin deserves it. He's been through a tough season this year, and he really deserves it. Let's give it to him.
Well, I don't know. All right. Earnest Byner says let's give it to Kevin Mack, and so we will. Over 100 yards on the day after his return. So the Most Valuable Player Award sponsored by Budweiser is Kevin Mack of the Cleveland Browns. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all of the MVPs selected in today's games. Well, Ernest, we've got you on the sideline, and we want to congratulate you. That 27-yard run was your longest of the season, and it may be the biggest of the season for the Cleveland Browns. What was the play call?
It was a trap call up the middle. We just wanted to get them coming up the field, and then after that, it was just a little bit of extra effort on my part.
It was indeed extra effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, good. This is Joe. Good extra effort, Ernest. Mentioned earlier, I guess this could be somewhat of a birthday present to your daughter, huh?
That's true. I want to wish her a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Samaria Byner. I love you. I love my family also. Thank you.
All right, Ernest, congratulations on your day, including the winning touchdown score as the Cleveland Browns beat the Washington Redskins on the road in the rain at RFK Stadium by a final score of 17-13. Stay tuned to NBC now for the Skins game after these messages from your local station. Tom Hammond for Joe Namath saying so long from Washington, D.C.
This has been a presentation of NBC Sports, the leader in innovative sports television.